Hey Army, welcome back to the channel. Guys, before you skip this video, don't. Because today, we are not just talking about charts, we are not just talking about a new album, we are not just talking about a comeback. Today we are talking about something far bigger than all of that. Something that has never happened before in the history of K-pop, in the history of Asian music, in the history of the entertainment world as a whole. BTS, and specifically one of its members, has just been officially placed inside a real, official school textbook in the United States of America. Yes, you heard that right. A school textbook. Official. United States of America. Elementary school kids in America are now going to learn about BTS in their classrooms. And this is not a rumor, not fan gossip, not wishful thinking. This is a confirmed fact. So stay tuned, because in this video we are going to break down every single detail. And trust me, this is even more mind-blowing than you think. Alright, let's start with the news itself, guys. On May 18th, 2026, so just a few weeks ago, an American educational publisher called Brain Candy Books officially launched their brand new educational book series. And inside that series, there is one name that instantly made the entire global ARMY community absolutely explode. That name is Jungkook, the golden magne of BTS. Guys, this is not just any book. This is an official curriculum textbook designed for grade 3 elementary school students in the United States, children between the ages of 8 and 11. This book is part of a formal education program, which means teachers across America will be using this as official classroom teaching material. And here is what makes this truly historic. Jungkook is the first K-pop artist ever to be included in the official academic curriculum of the United States of America. Before this, the only names featured in educational series like this were people like Taylor Swift, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Selena Gomez. And now, the name Jungkook of BTS stands right alongside all of them. How does that make you feel, ARMY? Because honestly, I got chills the first time I read this news. Now, I know you are all wondering, what exactly is inside this book? Why was Jungkook chosen? And what are they teaching young children in America about him? Guys, this book is designed in a visual and modern format, so it is not a boring, old textbook crammed with tiny text. It is specifically designed to appeal to young people who grew up with social media and the digital world. The content? The book tells the story of Jungkook's life, from a regular young boy from Busan with a massive dream, through years of hard and sacrificial training, all the way to becoming an international superstar whose name is known in every corner of the world. But the most powerful part, guys, this book does not just focus on glamour and fame. Quite the opposite, actually. The values this book wants to plant inside young minds through Jungkook's story are these. First, work ethic. That success does not come overnight. Jungkook trained for years before his debut, and he kept sharpening his craft even after becoming one of the most famous people on the planet. Second, artistic dedication. That being a true artist means constantly learning, constantly growing, and never stopping the process of creating. Third, global achievement. The book includes hard data. Jungkook is the first Korean solo artist to place 7 songs simultaneously on the Billboard Hot 100. And who could ever forget his epic performance of Dreamers at the 2022 FIFA World Cup, watched by billions of eyes around the world? Fourth, an extraordinary digital footprint. From TikTok to Pinterest, from Google Trends to Spotify, Jungkook has consistently dominated global digital platforms in a way no other Asian artist ever has. Brain Candy Books also explained that including a South Korean artist in the American academic curriculum is a way to introduce cross-cultural understanding to children from an early age. Because in an increasingly connected world, the ability to understand and appreciate other cultures is one of the most valuable skills a person can have. Okay guys, now let's take a step back and look at the much bigger picture. Because if you think this is only about one textbook featuring one BTS member, you are seriously underestimating what is happening here. This is part of a global phenomenon that has been building for years, and BTS as a group has become a cultural force that transcends the entertainment world entirely. We are talking about a group that has addressed the UN General Assembly, not once, but multiple times. A group trusted by the South Korean government as their official cultural ambassadors to the world. a group whose achievements are used as case studies at leading universities all around the globe. And in the context of education, BTS has been leaving deep footprints for a long time. Remember, guys? Long before this moment, HYBE Education had already collaborated with educational institutions to develop Korean language learning materials using BTS content. The Learn Korean with BTS program has been used at prestigious universities like the University of Sheffield in the UK and Middlebury College in the United States. And do you have any idea how massive BTS's impact has been on global interest in learning the Korean language? The numbers are staggering. Around 1,700 schools across 39 countries have incorporated Korean as part of their official curriculum. A huge portion of that surge was driven directly by the popularity of BTS and K-pop. But what we are talking about now is different. This is no longer about learning Korean through BTS. This is about a BTS member being made into the subject of the lesson itself, as a cultural icon, as a source of inspiration, as a case study in hard work and global achievement. And if we talk about Jimin specifically, guys, his achievements alone are enough to fill an entire course. Jimin became the first Asian artist ever to reach #1 on the Global Digital Artists rank in 2024, surpassing Taylor Swift with 7,088 points against her 5,831. His solo album, Muse, sent 6 of his songs to #1 on iTunes in 116 countries, a record that no one in iTunes history had ever achieved before him. This is not just musical achievement. This is a sociological and cultural phenomenon that deserves to be studied. Guys, the moment this news started spreading, the internet absolutely shattered. On Twitter, or X, whatever we're calling it these days, ARMY from every corner of the world immediately started trending. Phrases like, "This is not a dream," "BTS really is not like the others," and "We are not just fans, we are part of history," were everywhere. In the United States, the reaction was equally massive. Many American parents who may not have been very familiar with K-pop suddenly became curious and started Googling who Jungkook is, who BTS is. And that alone is an incredible cultural victory. International media went wild with the story. Billboard Korea immediately described this as the historic first step of a K-pop artist entering the education arena, one that introduces global stars to elementary school students. Jungkook's place in this book series puts him alongside legendary athletes and leading Western pop stars. And the most heartwarming part, guys, teachers and educators in countries around the world responded to this news with enormous positivity. They see it as a golden opportunity to teach children about cultural diversity, perseverance, and how the global world actually works, using a figure that kids already know and love. One educator from California even commented that this is the perfect way to get children genuinely excited about learning. Because when the subject of a lesson is someone they admire, they absorb the information far faster and far more deeply than they ever would otherwise. Guys, now I want to invite you all to think even deeper, because this is not just celebrity news. This is a reflection of a global cultural power shift. 20 years ago, who could have imagined that an artist from South Korea, a country that most American children might not even have been able to find on a map, would end up inside the official textbooks of American elementary schools? And yet, here we are. And this did not happen by accident. This happened because for more than a decade, BTS has been consistently breaking through cultural walls that the world assumed could never be torn down. They were the first Asian group to dominate the Billboard charts. They were the first K-pop artists to win at the American Music Awards. They stood at the United Nations and spoke about mental health and self-love, a message that is universal, that crosses all languages and all borders. And now, with Jungkook officially entering the American education curriculum, this is formal recognition that BTS is not just an entertainment trend that will fade. They are part of the global cultural history of the 21st century. For South Korea itself, this is an extraordinarily significant moment. Because for years, Korea fought for international recognition in the arts and culture space. And now, it is through music, through BTS, that Korea has successfully entered the educational system of the most powerful country in the world. That is not a small thing, guys. That is a cultural revolution happening slowly but absolutely surely. And for all of you, ARMY Worldwide, you are standing on the right side of this history. By supporting BTS, by spreading their music and their message, you have also been contributing to this global phenomenon that is now being formally acknowledged by the academic world. And guys, if you think this is the peak, wait. Because 2026 looks like it has been destined to become the year of BTS in every possible sense. Every BTS member has now completed their mandatory military service. Jimin officially finished his service in mid-2025 and immediately began preparing new music projects afterward. Jungkook is currently on the Arirang World Tour with the group, showing the world that all 7 of them are ready for a new era that is more mature, more powerful, and more unstoppable than ever before. RM has already been dropping signals that sent ARMY around the world into absolute meltdown. Strong hints about a full-team BTS comeback in 2026. Just imagine, guys, BTS returning as a full group, in the very same year their name is officially written into the history of global education. It feels like the universe itself is putting together the most perfect scenario imaginable. And if BTS truly comes back at full force in 2026, with all the momentum they have built, with all the international recognition they have earned, I genuinely believe this will be the most epic era in BTS history. Bar none. Guys, I want to close this video with one question for all of you. What do you feel right now, as an ARMY, as a fan, as someone who has been walking alongside BTS from the very beginning of this journey? Because to me, this is not just about pride as a fan. This is about witnessing something truly rare happening right in front of our eyes. A group from a small country that the world once underestimated, literally changing the world. BTS once said they only wanted their music to reach more people. And now, their music and the stories of their lives have literally become classroom material for children around the world. If that is not the definition of making history, I honestly do not know what is. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, ARMY. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video with your fellow ARMY, because this news deserves to be celebrated together. Drop a comment down below. Which BTS member do you think will have their name written into the history of global education next? I am so curious to hear what you all think. See you in the next video. Purple You ARMY. Purple Heart.